YouTube. Let's talk about Palantir not making the S&P 500. Now, thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. So, Palantir, for those of you that don't know, did not make it to the S&P 500, and that is just temporary, right? Um, we know that at some point in time, it's going to get in the S&P 500. Guys, listen, this stock has started being publicly traded, let's see, back in October of 2020. So we're talking about this thing not even being publicly traded for 4 years yet, and people are already up in arms about it not making it to the S&P 500, right? So when we think about the Dow Jones, the S&P 500, the Nasdaq, these baskets of index funds have been out for decades, right? And so we're talking about a stock that's only been publicly traded for less than 4 years. So think investors have to have a little bit of patience, right? So we're in a time now where we want instant gratification. Everything is about right now, so we have to change our mindset when it comes to investing. Now, right now, we can see Palantir is near $24. Um, Yesterday, there was a bit of a little sell off, if you want to call it that. So basically, people that were in it short term got in it, was expecting the S&P to uh, bring the Palantir in. That didn't happen. So a lot of short timers sold their shares. People that are in this thing for the long term and major institutions bought yesterday going into the day. Now, what does it mean for me personally? For Palantir not going into the S&P 500, it means absolutely nothing to me because I know at the end of the day, this is one of the best companies out here when we think about AI and data integration. So from that standpoint, the company is just going to have to keep doing what they're doing, continuing to build on a solid foundation. At this point, being publicly traded for less than 4 years, I think we're still at the phase where we're building a solid foundation, and every layer of brick that we go along is going to be confined to a solid foundation. That's what's important to me. Okay. Now, yes, eventually we want to see this PE ratio come down. We want to see some dividends. We want to see some growth. But for me, I'm looking at this thing 5, 6, 7 years down the road. Now, I'm, not going to sit up here and say that there's something wrong with trading Palantir. I'm not saying that because there's a multitude of ways one can make money, but as long as you have a long-term strategy with what you're doing, things will be in your favor. Your list will be reduced, so forth and so on. Now, at the end of the day, I'm going to continue to keep dollar cost averaging on this thing. I'm going to continue to, educate myself on the financials, the balance sheet, to see what's going on with the company, and accordingly, right? So I'm not going to look at this thing as an expert, but I still want to see what's going on. But I'm not going to allow my emotions to take over because of right now, right? Investing is not about right now. It's about building and continuing to build and letting your investments compound over years. Okay. Now, let me know what you guys think about Palantir not making it into the S&P 500. Were you upset about it? What kind of time frame do you think that it should take for Palantir to get inducted into the S&P 500? Do you not have a timeline? Do you not really care? Let me know what your thoughts are. For me, at the end of the day, I really don't care, right? Just because it's not in the S&P 500, like I said before, doesn't make it a bad company because we know it's not a bad company. We know about the contracts, we know about the partnerships with Oracle and other companies. And speaking of Oracle, they have earnings coming out tonight, but going forward, we know what they're about. We know it's going to take time. We know we have to have patience. And so, from that standpoint, that's where I stand, right? I'm not looking at this thing as a short term play overall. Now, let me know what your thoughts are. I appreciate you guys. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and we're out, guys. Peace.